Hey, hello.
Uh, Hello, guys. Uh, it's us again.
Yeah, it's me, Shu Rani, or Shu Haiti, because I now hated this show. How about you?
Yeah, and I'm Philip. And we are going to talk about GQuuuuuX episode mostly 11,
Uh,
but
yeah, quick catch
probably
up
the
on everything that happened since 8, I'm pretty sure, but yeah. So
yeah.
9, 10, and 11, really. But mostly 11, because that's the freshest one. How do you want to start? General thoughts?
Yeah, yeah, maybe starts with our general. Do you did you like last episode?
Okay, so last time when we were here, we were at episode 8, and I was still hyped. Like, that episode was. It already felt pretty rushed with the parts in current time, but I was thinking like, oh, it's probably because half the episode was set in the past, so they had to rush that half. No, just everything after that is also rushed, and it just feels like I'm watching the last couple episodes of GWitch again, with everything being completely rushed, the characters' actions making no sense. But this time, I get one more thing, because now we're just getting so much nostalgia baiting, it's unreal. No, I don't like it. How about
Yeah,
you?
yeah, I guess. Yeah, for sure. Pacing was not the strongest point of the last episode. I really liked the pacing in episode 10. I believe episode 10 was probably one of the strongest from this show.
It was surely better than what happens here. I'll
Yeah,
agree with that. Okay, so when in episode, what was it, 10, they rushed through killing Gir and Zabi. At least that was funny because I was like, oh, that's what we deserve. That was like actually a funny twist. But everything since then is like, wow, they really didn't have to rush this much. They really did needed to give it some more sense because right now we're just rushing towards the end, and I feel like they're just throwing nostalgia sand at my eyes, hoping I don't see it. I do.
yeah, that there's so much happening. It's like I just really hope that this episode 11 like is setting the stage for for a wide finale. Yeah, so
The
we got
stage, like a theater
Ye-
stage.
yeah, because in this episode we got like chaos, betrayal, alternate realities, and like this emotionally damaged teens making questionable decisions, and it's like all the Gundam classics in one place. So
Yes, but it's so rushed that I don't feel any weight from it.
yeah, yeah, this is a problem. Yeah, this the pacing of this episode for sure is problem. You got like everything that's supposed to be there and what we are expecting from Gundam show. Uh, yeah, but there's like too much as for
Like,
20 minutes.
it feels like the show just really wanted to get to those things and didn't like get through the proper motions to like, explain why they're happening and what's actually going to happen next. Because we'll get there, but like there's so much stuff this episode that just seems to happen because the plot demands it to happen without any real cause and effect plot wise, in my opinion.
Yeah, we will see.
Okay,
We will see how.
so do you want to go over the last two episodes a bit before we dive into this one?
Uh, okay, so
What happened
we
in 9? I don't even remember now. What? Oh no, it was the Lala on Earth episode where Machu went and saw Lala and
yeah
found the rose. And I thought that episode was fine, except it was kind of silly that Shalia just got her back at the end, but that actually made me respect Shalia more. That, oh, it was all his plan. Even though Matron didn't actually accomplish anything, it was like cool seeing some stuff, some world building.
yeah yeah. So okay, so we got like a lot explained, like a whole like story of Lala explaining Machu how she's like seeing or dreaming the same story happening over and over. Yeah, and uh, I guess it was like a really good how to say it, because as we as a like a say, old old time viewers, like we've seen
Hey, I'm a new
more.
type.
Yeah, we've seen more Gundam show before. Uh, we are pretty much like familiar with the story, but as for new users, viewers who has not like are not really into Gundam, especially the original series, like the whole story with Amuro and Char and also Lala is like, yeah, that they have like no idea what it's all about. And I think the episode 9 uh, gave us like the really good idea that there's like this conflict and everybody involved in this conflict is actually a victim of it. And yeah, there's like the yeah, I guess this is like a premise of Gundams. Yeah, that like war is like never like actually like good thing, and it corrupts everybody involved.
Okay, so to me, episode 9 felt like a side quest, but like a good kind of side quest. It actually like showed off a bunch of new things. Though I do feel weird that we've been building up towards them getting on Earth for so long. Then Macho finally gets there and just sits in one building for an episode, barely gets back to her Gundam and gets instantly caught and removed from Earth. It is pretty funny.
Yeah, but this is like a problem of our true like two main protagonists. Yeah, so Macho and Yan in most situations they don't really have uh like a lot of free will. It looks like they are just like doing everything
I mean,
in like
Macho
a
really wanted to swim in the ocean and she just missed her chance.
yeah.
And I don't think she's getting that back in the one remaining episode.
Yeah, but she had like no actually no way like to do it. Yeah, even actually like everything she did on Earth, she she did not like decide on anything that happened there. Yeah, so she went to Earth, okay, but then the GQuuuuuX crashed. Yeah, so she got rescued. Then she was in the battle. Uh, then it was not her that like set the whole building on fire and allowed her to escape. It was the mates, and she wanted to take Lala with her, but
Lara
she
said no.
declined.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said no. She declined. So Machugu like gets in, uh, and she's just like taken to the ocean. Yeah, she's like she was like unable to make any decision. So she dives
Okay.
into the ocean,
So
finds
Macho is
the.
a loser then.
It's not like a loser, but she's just like following the plot. It's like everything is happening, and she's like following what's like happening, but she has like almost like no free will to actually do anything.
Well,
And
then
it's pretty much similar with Nyan because okay, we got it that
we'll
Nyan
get
is
there
like
next episode first because that's when Yan comes in. I just want to
yeah,
finish this one by saying, okay, we find another Lala at the end of the episode. There's canonically an object from a different timeline, which is not our main timeline either. It's some different UC timeline. Then we get to episode 10, which is mostly about Nyan. There, Nyan having no uh, choice of her own either. Actually, it's kind of interesting because last time we see Nyan in episode 8, she tells herself that she knows that Kycilia is just using her as a weapon. But we start up this episode by her thinking, oh, maybe Kycilia will like this kind of food. And then when, what's the White Knight new type's name? What's that guy called?
it's Xavier.
Oh yeah, when Xavier asked if he also can also get her cooking, Nyan is like, no, I only give my cooking to people who I like. So, and then we get a flashback to Cassandra brushing her hair and stuff. So it seems like at some point, Nyan actually started liking Kycilia after all, which seems even more needed when it turns out that Nyan is actually willing to like make do a genocide for Kystelia. This will become relevant later. But yeah, episode 10, I don't wanna say it has good pacing, but because it kind of feels start stop sometimes, that we get a bunch of action, then some exploration, then some more action. But a lot of cool stuff happens in it for sure. I already mentioned how Giren just appears and dies almost instantly. But I think that's really funny actually, because it's very fitting for Cecilia's character and what we've seen from her before, because we know from the original series that she really cannot accept Giren killing their father, because she couldn't hold it in that there either. She killed him during the battle, which was a silly idea. And this time we once again see that after 5 years, she finally sees him, and of course she kills him instantly. That makes sense. That works. That is a twist, but the one that works with the characters as we know them. So that's fine. And then we get Nian just leading an attack on Giren's forces. So once again, it feels like there was like a time skip when Nian and Kyselia got to be like real close to each other, and Nian became trusted to be like lead attacks for her. Actually, it's really weird because we don't get any indication how much time passed, but in the meantime, Nian and Kyselia developed some kind of relationship. In the meantime, Machu and God, what's her name? And Shalia somehow also became closer because Shalia gave Machu flying lessons, and they started like properly interacting and not just bickering. Somehow they got the second Lala from the ocean all the way to the big laser in space. Uh, Niad finished her training and became an ace. Like a lot of stuff happened, but we're never told how much time actually passed.
Yeah, I guess we did not get this information because of two reasons. Why? One, because there's like not a lot of time to like actually like specify this kind of thing. Because like as we said before, the episode is like really rushed. Like it feels rushed yet. Like the pacing for everything is not really like bad. Is episode 10 for sure is not as bad as episode 11, but yeah, it was kind of rushed, especially at the beginning. Yeah, and also I guess this timeline is not like really this important because it doesn't make like a big difference for us if it's like I don't know, like 5 months, 6 months, or if it's 5 weeks. Yeah, we
I
may
mean,
just
yeah, but
assume.
I just wanted some indication that time passed, because the way it's shown in the episode, it feels like, oh, it might have been just like next day from last episode, because that's not how normal it is. And then it turns out that no, it doesn't even turn out like it's never actually said that time passed. Like for all we know, all that stuff might have just happened in one day. We don't know if any time passed. It's just annoying because exactly of how rushed it feels. As for the timeline, I would like to care about this timeline. I would like to care about this a lot. The show is just not letting me.
Yeah. Uh, I'm pretty sure I like last time when we were like recording a video, I said that they are just playing like with the whole like convention, yeah, and then they got like a free hand to do whatever they want with Gundam, and they are just messing around. So they probably do not really care because they have like a lot of crazy things to like pack into this really short episodes.
Okay, so there's some very cool stuff that happened. As I said, first, Kycilia kills Giran, which is good. Then Kycilia's forces ambush Giran's forces, and we actually get to see Nian and a whole squad of Gyans, Nian and the Gyans, huh? Destroy a bunch of Big Zams, which is a pretty fun battle scene. We also see Shalia Bull release Machu to the wild, telling her to like faction up, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a really good contrast because Nyan is like doing what was ordered to her. Yeah, she's like she has her orders. She's like first the attack, then she has the coordinates to put into the like whole Zeknova machine. And on the opposite, Shalia just tells Machu something like, do what you want to do, yeah, like what you feel you have to do. Like, yeah, there's like no really like any strict orders what Machu is supposed to do.
Okay, speaking of the Zektova machine, so the Kycilia forces defeat all the Giran forces around the big space laser, and then it turns out that without even Xavier knowing, Kycilia gave Nyan special orders to get into the. I will not pronounce the name of the thing properly, so big space laser it is.
Yeah,
To get inside and activate it. And for one thing, it makes sense because as it's shown, uh, thanks to Giren being like, because Kycilia is mostly in control of the moon, and Giren has control of the actual Xeon mainland. So he has a lot of forces, and much of it was stationed at Abawa Q. And Kycilia has Nyan just completely destroy Abawa Q with a really cool scene using the Kira Kira, because it turns out that it's not just a space laser, it's a Kira Kira laser. It actually transports the Abawaku next to it and then sucks it in somehow. It's actually like using Lala as like a lens or something. Less like a battery, it seems more like a lens. So Nian just accepts the order to kill thousands of people and destroys that. And also it turns out that Char is also there. Like literally, we've seen him before, but he's just working at the place. Nyan appears and he
yeah,
he runs away. That's all we see from him in that episode. But yeah,
yeah. I
Nyan destroys Abu Aku. Meanwhile, Machu breaks through with Chalia's help and enters the space laser, and the episode ends with them looking at each other.
yeah, and I'm really glad that like this whole situation did not end up with like both of their Gundams being destroyed. And I was really expecting a scene when Machu and Yan are aiming to each other with their guns, and we are just like waiting which one of them will be the first one to pull the trigger. Yeah, and then the like this when we got the actually like shots, the episode will end. Yes, I'm really glad this is not what happened, and that we like did not get into this cliche.
Speaking, we will get into some cliches, all right, but that's next episode. Okay, so
Yeah,
episode 10, even though it was rushed, there was a bunch of cool stuff to the point that I was able to like go through it and still have fun. But then we get into episode 11, and maybe now you start because I know I have a lot to say. So you first. What do you think about episode 11?
yeah. I I've seen your polls online, and I know that you're not like a really big fan of this episode. Yeah, but as for me, yeah, the episode 11 just was there like just to set the stage perfectly for a really wild finale. Yeah, so this is probably what this episode is most about, as I would say. And also, mm, I guess that we got reminded that Shar is actually the true MC, and he just like casually returns here and is just like he's reminding everyone that like he's still the main character. And yeah, it doesn't like really matter how little screen time he had. He's like he's taking control. He's dropping lore bombs. He's making clear that he's trying to fix the mess everyone has been creating.
Okay, so we get into episode 11. and the two girls are staring at each other. Nian almost fires another space Kira Kira laser at Earth, but the machine has to recharge. Okay. The two Gundams face down, but they don't like properly duke it out because they realize who they are, and the Machu signifies she wants to try and save Lala. Okay, that makes sense. Because she knows one Lala, she wants to save the other one. I can buy that. So she she shoots the limiter of her Psychomu just with the gun that Chalia gave her, just with the pistol. And then some cool effects, like some dark holes appear around the GQuuuuuX, like some energy is released, and it touches the Rose of Sharon, so the time frozen Lala. And then energy is released that makes both of their Gundams like go through the walls. Up to this point, okay, I understand what's happening. Then we started getting into the silly stuff because, okay, first off, Spirit Shuji comes to Machu and does he even speak anything at this point, or just gesture? I don't remember. But for some reason, Machu interprets whatever that guy is saying as go come out of your Gundam
Yeah.
and
Yeah, just to follow her. Yeah, she just leaves
uh-huh.
her mobile suit and follows a ghost.
Yes, but at the same time, Nian follows in the mobile suit, which is pretty silly because you have one of them in and one of them out. Then somehow, some way, they find the, okay, wrong order, because where actually Shuji is leading Machu is towards Shar and Kycilia, who have found each other uh, s- at the at basically the theater from
Yeah.
Zeta Gundam, where
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
anime it was Shiroko and Haman, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen this reference, yeah. That are
So
like even very similar shots.
then Kycilia is trying to convince Shar to join her cause and join the new type revolution, but Shar declines, which I think makes sense here because Kycilia basically describes what Shar did in Shar's counterattack, but this Shar hasn't like gotten that low yet. He hasn't lost that much, so I understand why he would not be like that far gone, that genocidal yet. I get that. Kycilia gets angry, and of course, at that moment, Macho flies in and uh, by accident protects Char. Char and Macho run away, and Nyan busts through the wall basically in her G-thread, confusing Kycilia and letting the other two escape. Things are slowly starting to make less sense, but there's still sense. It's rushed, but we still are getting somewhere. But okay, Char and Machu fly through uh, a hole in the ground of the scene of the theater and get back into the shafts where they were with their Gundams. So now Char and Machu are just hanging out there when the red Gundam spawns next to them, and Char sees it and goes inside, which shows us that Char didn't actually have any plan to do anything really, because he was just hanging around during the construction, and he didn't actually accomplish anything. He just was like caught by Kycilia, ran away thanks to Machu, then randomly found a Gundam appearing and got into it and decided to like fly it. So if that didn't happen, what was his plan actually? What is his plan? Is there a plan? Like, see, first annoying thing, Char shown in this episode didn't seem to like actually have a plan to do anything, because in the alternate versions of Char have created whole movements like the AUG, like Newborn Neo Zeon, to accomplish their goals. From what it shows, and there's one episode left, so there's not gonna have time to like show anything different probably. This Char was just like sitting on his ass for 5 years, accomplished nothing, and just waited for the machine to be complete to then try to do something with it. Uh, like no setup. And also, like it's also revealed that Shuji was actually somebody Char met that was a powerful new type. Just some random guy that Char was like, oh, I see, powerful new type, and gave him the red Gundam because surprise, Char was never gone. He just pretended to be gone. Just like, okay, I guess. Anyways, Char flies away. Machu is left alone, and somehow she re-enters the theater back on
Yeah,
back on the upper part of the stands instead of
yeah,
from below, which is very silly. And Kisilia, thinking that she is working with Char, wants to shoot her, to which the response is Nyan shooting Kisilia,
yeah.
which I also think makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, considering.
Oh, no, no, no. I guess it totally makes sense. We also got like later the conversation with Syria and like somebody from her staff, yeah, like what happened, and she said something like that her dog has beaten, like bite her or something. Yeah, I guess uh, it's probably because of this like everything got rushed, and even if Nian like has finished her training, it was like weeks or months, and yeah, I guess Nian was just still loyal to Machu. And
Yeah,
it's
but
like it's
I,
all.
I don't see why. I've posted once already. And somebody else said the whole like Machu and Nyan relationship is completely being carried by the ending of the show when they dance together. Because other than that, I don't think they've actually had that much positive interaction, because they spent half of what they had uh, either arguing over Shuji or actively. No, yeah, mostly arguing, partially over Shuji, but also other stuff. Like by the time they were like doing their plan, trying to run away to Earth with Shuji, they both actively disliked each other. Now they've not seen each other for a while. Nyan seemed to actually like Kistilia now, and at least we're shown that she does. She was faithful enough to like actually do dangerous missions for her and stuff, and want to cook for her. And now, just instantly, as soon as like Macho is there, Kisena is just pointing the gun at her, and instead of like doing anything else, which she could have done, Nyan just shoots Kisena in the back.
Yeah, but uh, when Celia was handling this gun to Nyan, she said something like that is like very important not to like hesitate when you have to do something, yeah, and that you have like to make decisions like really fast. And I guess that at this moment in this whole situation, and also with what Nyan has done with the Zegnova laser, I guess Nyan just finally finds out like uh, how much she was like being manipulated by Xillia, and she's just yeah, she just sees and realizes how Xillia has been playing her, and she does not want just to be like a tool
I
for somebody
understand that
powerful.
this is what it should feel like from the show, but because of how rushed everything is, it just comes up so absolutely mangled that I just don't
Yeah,
understand
yeah, yeah.
what's
So
actually
this is
happening in the
like
scene.
again the pacing is like a really a problem. I guess there's like a lot of things that kind of make sense when you think about it for a long time,
Like
but
I would disagree. It's not thinking about it for a long time that makes it make sense. Where it's making excuses for the show. It's trying to make like figure out ways for it to work. And I know because I've done it once before with a Gundam show. When Gundam Witch from Mercury was ending, I was very much trying to make excuses for the show, like figure out stuff that it could have been, could have meant for it to be better. And here, once again, we have a show whose ending is falling apart, and we are trying to make excuses for it to feel better about it. That's how I see it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. It actually, I like this idea. I like this idea. Yeah. We may say that we are making a lot of excuses to to cover up the
Bandai's mistakes.
the yeah mistakes. Yeah, mistakes of the
Because this was basically half of my experience with Witch from Mercury. That's why I'm so mad, because I'm in the same place again. Last time I was the one defending Witch from Mercury so much, even though it had a lot of flaws, trying to like see what it could have been. And now I'm just on the other side with everybody doing their best to defend GQuuuuuX. I'm like, no, it's actually going really bad right now. You don't have to defend it, especially as the way this show just keeps using nostalgia so shamelessly while everything else seems to fall apart is also really ticking me off, but we'll get there. But yeah, whatever Nyan's story arc was supposed to be doesn't really work for me, because, yeah, I understand it was supposed to be like, oh yeah, first Cassilia was manipulating her and then she saw through it, but I don't think that the show has actually shown us that much. It's shown us like moments, but how how much Cassilia was actually manipulating, how much Cassilia was actually like in contact with her, it's impossible to say. We've only saw like what, two flashbacks, very little actual actual conversations between them, actual uh, actual I lost the word here, actual moments between the two. And from what was there, Kisia was using her to her ends, but she was still like giving a lot of value to Nian, like promising her school and stuff. And at the same time, I just don't feel like, because of how fast the show is, Machu and Nian ever really had that close of a relationship in the first place. So even if Kisilia was trying to control Nian for a couple weeks, that would still feel like, oh, this is still probably more than she ever had with Machu, because it was like 6 episodes of what? They never flew Gundams together. They were mostly just both around for Shuji and to get money. Like maybe I'm missing something, but it just feels so rushed for Nyan to suddenly decide that no, actually, I was okay with killing thousands of people for Kycilia and stuff, but now that this girl that this girl I used to know is in danger, now I will shoot the woman that is is the one promise of my future I have. And yeah, if it was handled better, if it was paced better, if it was written better, then yeah, sure, the arc you are describing could have worked. But that all that stuff is not there. There's like
yeah
small snippets, like small flashbacks,
yeah I
but
know.
the
I
rest we
don't
just
know.
have to make up ourselves.
Okay, maybe it's just about Shuji then. Maybe she's like still thinking about Shuji uh, and she does not want to make Shuji angry.
I'm sorry if I.
So she's saving Machu. I don't know.
Okay, I think I might be a bit too emotional. Sorry. That was a long rant, and we're not even at the end of the episode yet. Oh,
Yeah. So yeah, we also got a lot. Yeah, we already like you already told about the Red Gundam. I believe that it was like before the Red Gundam appeared, and Char got like I don't know. It was like funny how
all right.
he got
I
like
remember.
transformed. Yeah, like all of his suit.
Yeah, because Shar
He
had
got
those long hair, and when he
yeah
curled them back, he had his hairline from the Char's counterattack. but then he got blasted with some energy, and now he's back in his red comet suit. Yeah, that was pretty silly.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like was like a some kind of like a superhero transformation. I don't know, like a Sailor Moon one. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, it
okay.
was supposedly because that's how the Lala in the Rose of Sharon remembers him, which is like, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I did not get it. For me, it was only like it was really silly,
It was
but
really silly. Like it's supposed to be that Lala is so powerful, the one in the Rose of Sharon, that she just is changing reality, but that's still
yeah,
just silly.
we got the that line with Shar about this like one-sided love.
Uh-huh.
This was like the line that Shar throws out when
At
mm,
Machu,
yeah,
we're
much
talking
when
about
they're like
Shuji.
talking. Yeah, for sure. It feels like it's pointed at Lala, and she's like literally stuck in time. She's like in this suspended state, trying to protect everyone that she
It's no,
loves.
she's specifically
And
supposedly trying to protect Char, but this Char doesn't know her.
yeah, but we got Shuji here, and we know that Shuji came from the OG Gundam timeline
We
to
don't know that
protect.
yet. Okay, you're skipping
Uh,
ahead a bit. You're skipping ahead a bit.
no,
No, in this episode, we're not at that point yet. Shuji appears at the end. Come on.
but because it goes before.
No.
Because it
Char
goes
gets the
before.
red Gundam. Char gets the red clothes and the red Gundam. Then we have the Kycilia scene. Nyan almost kills her, then runs away because the Gfred is protecting her. What happens then? Does Machu just find GQuuuuuX again? I don't remember. I think she does, right?
I'm not really sure. I rewatched the show, but I'm not really sure if she gets into GQuuuuuX again.
But yeah, it turns out that Char wants to not as much kill as just erase the presence of the alternate Lala because she is trying to protect him, but she's also just changing the universe, and that's just not a not good for the timeline because she's just messing with the timeline. Char doesn't want that, which makes sense. Also, I like how it explained that it's not like some new type power that's causing the Kira Kira and the Zeknova. It's actually that there's two copies of the Alpha Psychomu in one universe. It's the one in the Red Gundam and the one in the Elmeth. So that's why they're like resonating with each other. Which yeah, it's sci-fi bullshit, but it's cool sci-fi bullshit because yeah, always heard about if you have two versions of the like the same person when one universe they cannot touch or they will disintegrate each other. It's like stuff like that. So here we have this combined with new type bullshit, meaning that now if we have two copies of the same Psychomu, they can like uh, work with each other and resonate, and that causes Lala's thoughts of protecting Shar to manifest into Zeknovas. That's how I understand it, at least. But yeah, Shar gets there and is trying to get rid of Lala, but then Machu comes in and tries to attack him, but they're like separated by Shuji, right?
I don't know. I really don't remember. It's
While all
embarrassing, but not really happened.
yeah,
What
because it's
happened there?
so rushed, it's really hard to
Yeah,
focus. While all this is happening, also uh Shalia reveals that with the with what's happening with the Zeknova, with what I think they called the Minovsky particles going between the universes, increases the ability of new types to like the perceptive ability of new types. Shalia is just able to detect where Kycilia is at that moment and leaves his fight with Xavier to try get her, and Xavier runs after him just randomly. Meanwhile, Shuji reveals he's actually not a hobo, silly guy, but actually came here with a plan. He's here to like protect Lara, and then he opens a gate to another universe and summons the White Gundam.
Yeah. And yeah, he wants like to slap everyone with the OG Gundam.
Yes, he wants to destroy. I think this is pretty much the quote: "Destroy this timeline that she created."
Yeah, it is like I'm really curious how like just one mobile suit is supposed to destroy everything.
Okay, I think that it's more a metaphor. I think what's happening is that Lala, by meddling, what she's doing is she's saving Shar from being killed by Amura, just like in the original series. Like now she's protecting him. I think what he wants to do is just to kill Shar, to stop Lala, because if Shar is dead, then Lala's whole thing doesn't work anymore.
Oh, okay. Okay, so he's mostly yeah, okay, so he's just about
I
so it's
think
all about
she's.
Char.
I think
Okay.
he's literally trying to recreate the fight that Lala originally dies in. It's Char and it's Char against Amuro in the White Gundam, and Lala stops Char from dying. I think it's literally trying to recreate that again. Oh, and then beyond the time from Char's counterattack plays, and I get very angry because this whole episode was so rushed. It's so annoying, and now they're just trying to shove nostalgia in my face, so I don't think about it. I
Yeah,
know they're trying to do, but I am not amused.
yeah. Yeah, they're just messing around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
for
it
sure.
feels completely like everything in this show, in my eyes, the original characters of the show stopped making sense. Especially Macho is just doing whatever the plot needs her to do at the specific moment. Well, she does have. She's basically just following whatever Shuji's ghost tells her. Meanwhile, Nyan's story arc, while I see what they wanted to do with it, is so rushed that it feels like she's just making stupid decision after stupid decision. And then Shar is just here without a plan, randomly gets back his clothes and Gundam, and then Shuji reveals he's actually the main villain and will kill Shar now, and summons the White Gundam out of nowhere without any setup.
Yeah, the good thing is that we will get the new white Gundam
Oh,
as a gunpla.
it's not even gonna be like a new version or a new design because it's literally just the original RX 78 from the original series.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I
just
got
like the
I
Elmas that's in the
yeah
old
I
style.
I got one here. Yeah, I'm just currently working on this one.
Yeah, it's literally that.
Yeah, but
God, this episode was so ass.
I I do hope that it just for now looks like it's just this like ordinary original Gundam, but it will have some cool stuff in the last episode.
Oh yeah, it's actually Gundam 00.
Yeah, I guess we will get something like really cool that, and then we will also want to get the model for it. I'm pretty sure something they have to add something. It cannot
Let's
just be like the original
just
Gundam.
like I just like I said before, my UC brain wants to like make theories and make like try to extrapolate what's actually happening, what's actually like
Yeah.
going in their heads. But then I feel like no, I'm trying to make excuses for what they did
Okay.
not put in the show.
Okay. So I will give you something that you did not mention before, uh, but you started talking about like this whole scene. So
Okay.
when we get this Minovsky particles Kira Kira thing,
Yes.
we got confirmation that Xavier and Xilia are new types. We were not really sure about Xavier because we know that he had a problem with
I mean, yeah,
GQuuuuuX.
he had it's just new type performance problem issues. That's all.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, but
new type erectile dysfunction.
yeah, but we now know that Xilia is also a new type, and actually we've also seen that there's like a lot of people that are new types because there's like some part of the crew that is able to see
Yeah, I assume it's
this
just like
and
low power new types that don't really do anything normally, are not awakened yet.
yeah, but I guess this is something kind of new that there's like so many of them.
I mean, there were always like a bunch of new types. Like on the white base crew itself, it was like what, six, seven, eight. Like all the kids were new types. Scylla, Amuro,
Yeah, but
Mirai.
okay. Yeah, I know, but there's like just some, let's say, characters that are kind of important to the plot. But here we got like a lot of like side characters. Yeah, there's like just like one guy on the bridge or like few persons standing there, and they are like next to the window, and they see there's like sparkles, yeah, Kira Kira sparkles, and some of them are not. Yeah, there's like a lot of people, not
The
just
way
like
I see it, like they are fairly new types. Like without, as Shalia said, with all that Kira Kira, this is basically maximizing the power of new types, their perception. So I'm assuming that without that, most of the people would have died without ever knowing their new types because their potential was so low. But with what's happening, just even the smallest potential was enough for them to see.
yeah, I
That's
guess,
my
but
version, at least.
yeah, but I guess it's still cool that we got like this information that there's like so many of them, and this is like so popular. Or it's like I don't know, it's like getting more and more popular, yeah, in the future. But I guess
Cecilia being a new type is cool, but that doesn't even confirm if she's a new type in actual original UC.
yeah, okay, yeah, it's possible that she's just a new type in this timeline.
Yeah.
I was also like considering if like she like acknowledging that she is a new type, if it's like possible to change like their her ruthless plans, yeah, but probably not. I was thinking if maybe like she would like push the pause button, yeah, eventually like try to like reconsider something,
It
but
never
probably
stopped Char.
yeah, I guess it won't have any impact because yeah, she's Xillia, and this is just this is how she is.
Like honestly, her motivation was basically, if humanity is really going to change into new types, we have to remove the humans from Earth. Which at least that's what she told Char, which is basically what Char was saying in Char's counterattack. So if anything, I think her like being proven that she's a new type would just make her believe that more. Like I assume she was mostly saying this as to just try to convince other people without actually believing most of it. But if she would find out she is a new type, she might actually start believing her own Kool Aid.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to add anything more about this episode, or do you want to
Give me a second.
like
Like general general thoughts about what's gonna happen next are the main
yeah,
issue in my head, because the way this episode ends, the last thing that happens is the white Gundam comes out of a rift between universes while beyond the time place. And the thing is, why? Why did we have to, just like in Wish from Mercury, at the last minute, a random Gundam is pulled out of the ass? Then it was the
Caliban.
Caliban, and we have another RX-78 just appearing in the last minute without any setup. I just really don't like it.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that we got like from the preview, we got like the preview straight up says that the next episode is final. So we are probably getting a clear ending next week, and I
And that
guess it's
scares
it's
me.
going yeah, and I guess it's going to be like a really clear one. There will be like no like cliffhangers or anything. Yeah, we'll get some kind of like a really clear ending, and this is my guess. It's probably it will probably be Shuji piloting the OG Gundam, and he will face off against Char and maybe others to decide the Lala's fate. And my guess is that we will have, of course, like a huge dramatic fight, and I guess Lala will wake up and just return to her original universe.
Whatever that
And
is, because she is not from the main Gundam universe. That's not where she's from.
yeah, she will
That
just
Lala is
wake.
dead.
Yeah, so I guess Lala will just like wake up and return to her universe, and she will just like leave behind all this chaos she caused. Yeah, this is probably what's
The
going to
thing
happen.
is, this show has so many characters. It has multiple subplots going on that do just like Kisilia and Shalia and Xavier doing their own thing. There's all the people on the ships that we know. And there are these couple of characters, and there's all the things we still don't know I've mentioned, like whatever the hell Char was doing, whatever the hell Kisilia's plans are, whatever the hell other people are planning in the future, or what just happens to the main characters after this. And we have 20 minutes left.
Yeah, we got only 20 minutes left, but I'm pretty sure they will like not fuck this up. Yeah, they know that they have to end this with like some kind of sense. Yeah,
Oh,
it cannot be like
I
it cannot be.
wish I had your faith in them, because I'm fully expecting them to actually just reset the timeline, so they don't have to answer anything. Just going full on Evangelion, reset the timeline, no answers needed.
I'm not sure if this will work. Yeah, okay, but yeah, I was also naive. I was like thinking that I remember that I wasn't liking the idea of Zeknova just being like used as a weapon. Yeah, and you were pretty sure that they would just like use it for as a weapon, like
I
the
mean, that's normal for new types in UC, so that actually works, because that's what they keep doing with them in all the series. But oh, I was gonna say something else. Oh, right. There's just so much stuff that will never get answers because there is not enough time. I honestly think that the development of this, like GQuuuuuuX, started with them like getting in production of the movie and getting pretty far on, because that's where they started, with the plan of continuing the show. And only when the movie is already well in production, then they learn that it's only 12 episodes of a show. That's why you have like this first stretch that introduces the world pretty well, with this really good first stretch of the show that's from the movie. And then they learn that they have to finish the whole show in like 6 or 7 more episodes. I
yeah.
think that the size of the show might have been cut down, because otherwise this is just horrible planning on their part.
I don't know.
Because
No,
pacing is very important,
I
and this is not it.
yeah, we got just like we have like a few days left uh, of waiting, and I really do hope they will make good use of those 20 minutes in
This
last
show
episode
has
because
great animation, great music, great designs. I really
yeah,
hope they do.
yeah, because even like I'm not really sure what they would have to do, but if they manage to give the show like a really great ending, then all the flaws that we've seen before and that we were discussing for last like almost 3 months right now will like go away because we will just like say, okay, this is like a crazy artistic vision of the director, yeah, and guys, all of the like whole team, but they just don't have to not mess up this last episode. They have to like deliver something like really great that we will remember and that will not make us embarrassed that we were watching this show and we are hyped for for next match on
The
Tuesday.
issue
Yeah,
is, I'm already embarrassed for liking this show. Already feel this through that, but that's partially because I've been burned before. I've been here and at the last episodes that were rushed, but feel like, okay, if they can just stick the ending, they can stick the ending. That's how G-Witch ended. I just feel like I'm reliving the past, and I just don't want to be hurt anymore, man. I don't want to be hurt again. I cared too much. At least they got married in Jewish, but then Bandai took away even that. They, in some versions of Jewish, they even censored the ring on their hands, so it was even more ambiguous because gay marriage banned.
yeah. You know that there will be like a new, probably new Gundam show every year right now.
Yeah, they're
So,
supposed to be. I
so
mean,
those,
Gundam product. I assume one of those Gundam product every
yeah,
year is Hathaway episodes 2, which should already have come out a while ago. But here we
yeah.
are.
Actually, I'm still hoping that we will get like a halfway series, and that the halfway like movie was just like a pilot for it.
I
I, I
mean,
I
they're
guess
adapting it.
I don't get it. Like I don't get like whole the halfway as a like a standalone movie. I don't like it. For me, it looks more like a really like good pilot for a show. Something that, for example, we got. I'm not really sure if you watched the Battlestar Galactica, but uh,
I know of it.
yeah. So the pilot was like I don't I don't know like 3 hours. It was like a two movies of one around 2 hours each. Yeah, so it's like a really wrong pilot, but yeah, it was like a really great way to kick off the show. And
See,
it
Hathaway is adapting the first out of 3 books. That's why it feels like a pilot, because it's the first part of a trilogy of books. And I think they will keep it to that and just adapt it as 3 movies.
mm,
I'm fine with that.
yeah, still I know. Yeah, the pacing is it has a like a halfway has a good pacing uh, for a series, yeah, for a TV series. For like a 25, 20, like halfway as a pilot and then like a 2 arcs, like 24 episodes. This would be
Too
great.
bad. I'm already pretty sure they confirmed that Hathaway movie 2 is in production. I'm so sorry for you.
Uh, okay. Yeah, I don't like it.
Either way, speaking of things I don't like, I really don't think this show will stick the landing. I think the last episode will be rushed. It will have really beautiful scenes, really cool animation, really cool fights. But for me, at least, it will all probably ring hollow because it's so rushed and the characters just don't make sense anymore. And it's hard for me to care. But I will probably play some other music from maybe Unicorn this time. Maybe instead we'll get music from Unicorn now. And many people will be like, "Oh, I remember this. This must be like it's good and stuff." Or maybe the Unicorn Gundam appears and destroys everything. That would be cool.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I remember you asked me if I think that if Amuro is alive in this timeline.
I I don't think it matters anymore, really.
Yeah.
Like at this point, I'm half expecting them to say that, oh, Amura actually never existed. That's why we need to get Amuro from a different timeline or something like that.
Uh,
And all we can do is wait. I'm just saying that my predictions are grim, very grim right now.
yeah. Okay. So we will see who's right.
I hope it's you. I hope it's you. I hope it's you.
Yeah. Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, indeed.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. It's me. Okay.
Yeah, but thank you for this. This was very cathartic to be able to just yell and to say everything I wanted to say because I'm just really stressed at this show now because I was really championing it and now it's like,
Yeah. Okay. So guys, please write down in the comments if you have like any any ideas of your own or like hopes for the like great finale.
And let's
Hopefully
hope
great.
that when we meet after episode 12, we can only all have good things to say. Let's pray together.
Yeah, I guess we have to have like a maybe not this long, but we have to discuss like the last episode in next week.
I mean, we can do both last episode and series as a whole, like with all the episodes.
Yeah, but if we will be like if the last episode will be like really terrible, I'm not really sure if we will be in the mood to discuss like the series as a whole.
See, moods, mood doesn't matter. We're here for the content.
No.
we, we, if we torture ourselves, then I guess that only means how bad it really was. I will
Yeah.
sacrifice myself for the arts.
Okay. Yeah.
Good
We will
night,
see.
Philip. Good
Yeah.
night.
Okay. So see you guys next week.
See
See you,
you.
Shu too. And please check yeah, Shu streams. The like all links for Shu's content will be in the like description of this video. Yeah.
Thank you. Keep watching Philip's videos. He's pretty good at this and getting better. Good night.
Thanks. Bye.